So, hello, my name is Pelkonen. I graduated in 2011 from Kingston University. I'm currently working as an interior designer at Ardesia Design, which is an interior design company based in Notting Hill. First of all, I'll tell you a little bit about the types of projects that we do, and then I'll get on to talking about my topic, which is how we work the minimalist look in our designs. Ardesia Design work mostly with private residential clients, and we provide a bespoke interior design service from space planning to project coordination. We were founded in 2010, and back then we also managed a portfolio of properties for clients who are investors. Many of the flats that we designed for those clients were refurbished in a clean and simple, investment-friendly style. So our early days of refurbishing projects to simple investment flats built us a reputation within the interior design market. I don't think it's changing. It's not changing slides. I'll just keep improvising. So.
Can you press the right arrow on the keyboard?
Right arrow?
Yep. On the bottom right of the keyboard, there's a little arrow pointing right. I'll come up, hold on.
Great. So our early days of refurbishing projects to simply designed, that's the next one now.
So you're pressing the keyboard.
Oh,
there you go.
All right. So our early days of refurbishing simply designed investment flats built us a reputation within the interior design market as quite minimalist designers. So that's something that we embraced as part of our identity. Sometimes I do think there's a risk of a design becoming too minimalist, so we do have to be careful to add in a lot of detail. So I'm going to show you some case studies of our previous projects and how we found a way to add interest into our minimal interiors. Even if the brief from the client is to keep it quite simple, we like to consider the shape of the space, the amount of natural light, and to use a combination of colors and textures to create focal points in a room to create some interest. For example, in this project, we've done a custom-made bookshelf. This is the same flat that we've done in Notting Hill for a real estate fund, where the brief was to keep it simple and minimal. We've increased the amount of storage space by creating an interesting focal point and designing some custom joinery with irregular shelving. It's a great way to keep the design simple, but it also allows the owners to inject some personality by displaying their own items. This is the bedroom in the same flat. As an investor, the client said he just wants to keep the flat minimal and easy to rent, but we wanted to do something a bit more spectacular. So we designed the middle doors of the bedroom wardrobes as the entrance into the ensuite bathroom, which then revealed this full-height shower panel. It really added that wow factor to the flat. The bathroom in the previous slide was finished in polished plaster, which is also what we've used in this bathroom. It's a great material because it has an interesting surface and it looks quite dramatic. We also created some niches in the walls that were lit with LEDs. The result was a minimal but atmospheric bathroom, and it works really well in this case because it played on the fact the bathroom didn't have any windows. This is a bathroom in a project in Switzerland where the client wanted to keep the bathroom simple but to use a natural material. We used this really nice textured limestone tile with a rough cut finish and installed some LED lights behind the mirror to add some interest. The natural finish worked really well with the limestone. A lot of our clients come to us because they like the natural, simple look that we do, so it's not always so easy to convince them to go for anything out of their comfort zone. So for example, in this flat, we kept all the walls nice and white and minimal, but then in the kitchen we installed this LED light panel behind the backsplash so the client can control the amount of light and interest. This is a dining room in the same house. We had the wooden beams in the ceiling sanded down and washed lightly in a white color. The owner was an avid art collector, so we helped style the house with pieces from his own collection. It worked really well because he could then update the look as he wished and add interest when he wanted it. Even the smallest spaces in the house we find don't have to become boring spaces, such as this entrance in a flat in Notting Hill. We chose the same wall colour as in the living room to tie the spaces together, then added some double spotlights in the ceiling to add extra light to make the space feel bigger, and then created detail by recreating some Victorian-style mouldings on the walls. This is another interesting project in London where the client wasn't allowed to build new walls, but he wanted to create a separation between the bedroom and the living room. We created this bookshelf that incorporated a sliding door into the back so the client could separate between these two spaces, but it also served the dual purpose of adding more storage to the small flat. Although we love that Scandinavian look of white walls and minimal colour, we do try and push our clients to go for a lot of texture in their designs. So in this flat, the client chose wood and marble as his two materials, which we then paired with some lights behind the LED mirrors. It shows that for us, minimalism isn't always about just using white. This is the bedroom in the same Soho flat, where we kept the wall colours plain, but then added interest with the use of a custom wall panel, which was finished in the same fabric as the headboard. We often find that clients who aren't overly keen to use colour or material, we can use light or lighting effects as a way of adding interest to the design. Achieving the minimal look sometimes works backwards in a way, which is the case in the chalet in Gstaad, Switzerland, with the whole building being constructed out of rough sawn fir. The sheer quantity of wood was quite overwhelming for the minimal look, so we used lighting as a way of diluting the wood, creating a horizontal separation within the room. We also used a lot of natural colours and fabrics in the design to create a warm atmosphere and a subtle sense of style. The flooring was extra wide planks from Dinesen, and the entire colour palette was very sensitively matched to the wood. We used linen and wool fabrics for the sofa, curtains and throws, and the only injection of colour comes from the paintings on the wall and a few decorative cushions. We carried on with a simple style throughout the chalet. In the bedrooms, the all-over wooden walls made the rooms feel quite small, so to split up the wood, we used full-wall headboards in a wool fabric. We chose one main wall colour, which was repeated in small details such as the piping and the bed linens and the cushions. In this bedroom, we went for red for that warm chalet feel. This is another bedroom in the same chalet, where we used lighting as a way of breaking up the wood and giving the space an interesting but minimal feel. The layout was designed with two entrances into the ensuite bathroom to create an open circulation. The bed was situated against the middle partition and an LED lit niche cut into the headboard, which was covered in cashmere fabric. This is one of the bathrooms in the chalet, where we used polished plaster again to break up some of the wood. Even the toilet flush plate was customized to match the walls and filled with polished plaster. The colours and textures of the wood and the plaster worked really nicely together to create contrast, but it allowed the rest of the design to remain minimal. Through our beginnings in designing simple and functional flats for investors, we've developed our own style of minimal interiors that work for us and for our clients, with creative joinery, carefully planned lighting and textured finishes. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of our projects and the way that we create simple and minimal interiors for our clients. Thank you.